it just depends on when I take a step off the line, what my partner is doing cross court. Because a lot of the times, if I feel like maybe they're going to pop it up or hit something high, I'll just take a step back just to make sure I'm ready for a speed up. Because if you're standing on the line, sometimes it comes a little bit too fast in order to defend or to counter. So that's a lot of the reason why I'll do that. I'm just kind of seeing what's going on with the point, and I have to adjust. Do I move up? Do I move back? And then when I want to be more offensive, like I'll take a step forward, and then I'll try and take some of those balls out of the air instead of letting them bounce. But
okay, guys, we got a good episode here today. We have Parris Todd coming on, and also a surprise guest mid podcast that we weren't expecting, and some anonymous questions. But we basically just like learn about all things Parris Todd, how she got into pickleball, and all that good stuff. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about these sunglasses that I'm wearing. Tyson, what do you think?
They look dope, bro.
Here's
Designer.
the thing. Here exactly. Except they're not as expensive as the designer glasses. Do you know that? Do you know what brand this is, Tyson?
I do, but only because we've talked about them before. But they do look like lots of designer shades, and they are Shady Rays.
Yeah, I've been wearing them a ton. Yeah, they're the official sunglasses of the PPA Tour, and we've got a nice little promo for you. So Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com, use code DINK, all caps, for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's 50% off. And they're already pretty good price. So go get yourself a pair of these glasses.
That's a large chunk, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I took advantage of the deal. They sent me free ones, and then I went and just like bought my own because they have a bunch of really good styles.
Nice.
I think last time you were insinuating that these are like my style because they're kind of,
They are your style. I think they fit you well.
I think I think I've said this before. I don't look good in every hat, but I pull off most pairs of sunglasses. But
I have a sunglass face too.
Yeah. One of the few blessings. All right. The other thing I want to mention.
Yes.
Selkirk. Okay. So we're doing a Selkirk giveaway, Paddles for Life. You can literally get Selkirk Paddles for Life, and you can opt to get one of these guys. And then they also have the 009. This one's unreleased. So you can get this before it's released. So just go to our link in bio, and you just click the link, and you enter the giveaway. But to get the link in it's our Instagram bio. It's you go to www.linktr.ee/dinkfam. That's where you'll find the link. Enter the giveaway. You can get free Selkirk Paddles for Life. And Tyson, we talked a little bit about Duper, and how you, in this episode, how you caused my Duper to go down to a 4-9.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
But we're going to play some Duper games this weekend, and I'm going to get that thing back up.
Okay. At Leah Jansen's expense.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put her on my team. That's
okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Really smart.
Yeah. All right,
Here's
guys.
What I'm going to do. Wait.
Go.
Here's what I'm going to do with Duper. I'm going to intentionally lose to 3.0 players until you and I meet up. And then I'm going to spank you so hard that you go down to like a 3-4.
Yeah, that'll be a problem. I think the way the data works, like it's going to hurt. So please don't do that.
Okay. We have one more.
Go for it.
Yesterday I went and played Arizona pickleball in the heat, and it's hard to play for a long time in the heat on the court when you're sweating so much. But our friends at Relight keep me on the court. They have an electrolyte mix that is incredible, made with all natural ingredients, 10 times the electrolytes of leading competitive brands, which is actually around the amount of sodium you sweat out in an hour. So it's the only thing that keeps my hamstrings from cramping up. And you can get it for 15% off with the code PICKLEBALL at checkout. Pretty cool stuff, right?
I like it. Enjoy the episode. Let's see what you got.
Welcome back, everybody. Another riveting episode of PicklePod. I am here, your number one host, Tyson Apostle, here with number two host, Thomas, but number one Thomas in pickleball, Thomas Shields. Thomas, would you like to introduce our very exciting guest for the day, or should I do that too?
Go for it. You're on a hot streak.
All right. We have a fresh off of so many victories, taking the pickleball world by storm, and probably pop culture as well. I don't know everything about you yet. Parris Todd, everybody. Parris, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. I know it's been a little bit of a journey to get you here on the show. So hopefully Thomas doesn't disappoint or drive you away from future appearances.
I hope not.
Yeah.
We had no choice but to get you on because you just keep winning.
Well, I mean, my name's not Just Winning Johnson, but I'm getting pretty close.
Yeah. Are you going to change your name? Is there a name change in the future for you?
I keep hearing hottest players. So maybe I'll just go with hot. I don't know. We'll just roll.
Yeah. That's your middle name.
That's good. I like that.
Paris.
Maybe you. Well, hold on. Can you drop the second R from Paris so I can stop getting called out for typos?
I mean, can you get my name right? Do I have to
working on it.
spell it out in capital letters, or what's going on?
I'm working on it. It's tough. I'm like, remember the second D on Todd, and then I'm focused on that. I forget the two R's.
Todd always has two D's. Nice try, Thomas.
Does it?
Todd is historically spelled with double D.
Not if it's
right?
the first name.
It's hard. It's okay.
Yeah, spelling is hard. We're simple podcasters over here, Paris. So means we either dropped out of college or weren't very good at it.
I didn't go to high school, so we're on the same page.
Oh, what a boss, dude. You were just like, I'll just probably quit and be a pro pickleball player in the future at some point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, school's not that important, right?
I mean, if we have kids listening, stay in school. Yeah. But if not, yeah, I mean, if I had a time machine, I might go back and do things a little differently. Meaning less school, not more school, less school.
Exactly. I like it.
Parris, you just came off of your victory at the PPA. Was there any part of you that was like, yeah, suck it, PPA. I'm non-contracted player winning your event.
I think every APP player can kind of relate to that if they beat a contracted player, but it did feel good. I'm not going to lie. So, but I'm not trying to throw any shade either. So I'm kind of in the middle.
Oh, neutral like Switzerland?
Yeah, something like that.
Really smart.
Yeah. All right. So then all you APP players do have a chip on your shoulder. No,
I mean, I wouldn't
here.
include anyone in this conversation. I don't want to get,
You don't want to be the spokesperson
later or anything, but I mean, yeah, it feels good, right? So
do you consider yourself an APP player? Is there like a definite
good question
division? Because you've kind of stated that you are.
No, I wouldn't say I'm an APP player exactly. I think that both of the tournaments do a great job and, taking care of us players. I think, the PPA contracted players do get a little bit more favor at the PPA tournaments, but for good reason, right? Those are their players and they take care of them. So it's just, I mean, everyone's different and every player has their own path and they like one over the other. And I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm playing as many tournaments as I can, trying to see which way I'm leaning towards. So it just comes with time.
Okay. So does that mean that the PPA has been having conversations with you?
I have been talking to them a little bit, so we'll see. We'll see how much they want to open their bank account. But
oh yeah, you heard it here first, dude.
I like
Parris Todd's going to cost you money.
This is good. If you need an agent, let me know.
I've got 5 on the roster, so you can
sure
send me a resume and I'll check it out.
I mean, you don't want to ask any of Thomas's references about his negotiating prowess. You're just going to have to trust him.
I don't know about that.
All right, Parris, we actually, you mentioned something that we need to talk about. Okay. So you said you didn't go to school. I want to know, where'd you come from? You were a junior tennis player, right? So I imagine that had a lot to do with, were you homeschooled? And then just go into kind of like your journey as a junior tennis player growing up, where you grew up, and then we'll kind of get into the transition to pickleball.
Sure. So I was a very good junior tennis player. I was number one in the 10s and the 12s in the nation. And because of that and all the traveling that I would do, I was gone like 3 weeks out of each month. So I didn't have time for normal school because I would be traveling so much. So I went to regular school up until about 7th or 8th grade. And then I worked with I did, homeschooling and online school and all that for about 2 years while I was still traveling. And it was a lot for me to balance the school and also the tennis. So my parents just said, you know what, we're just kind of going to hold off on school so I could just give tennis my 100%. And when I was 14, I turned professional, and then I was traveling more, and then it was more international. So with that, it just takes up so much time and energy, and especially with the training. So when I was 16, my parents were like, okay, we need to figure out, like, do you want to go to school? Do you want to be professional? Like, where is this going? So just to be safe, I went and I got my GED, and I can say that, I did finish high school, which is great, but I did it in a very unconventional way. And it's what worked with me and with my schedule, and just, kind of did that. So.
Can I ask you about that?
Sure.
You see these documentaries of, like, I don't know if you saw the Tiger Woods documentary where his parents like had him golfing at age 3, and the Serena and Venus Williams story as well. Is there part of you that feels like your childhood was stolen a little bit, or did you get all the normal things kids do and then you were just like excellent at tennis and that was your life? Like, what, looking back on those moments now, would you have done things differently, or is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I think it would have been good to have a little bit more of a balance, especially when, you're growing up and you have friends that are in high school and your life is not so conventional. You get FOMO in a sense, and you feel like you're missing out on a lot of different things. So it would have been nice to, like, go to all the school dances and like have friends and have a life. But also I was traveling around the world and meeting all these amazing people through tennis. And you have to mature really fast, and you have to, when you're traveling, because I traveled on my own a lot, you have to kind of fend for yourself. So that helped me grow up a little bit faster. And now looking back, I wouldn't change anything because I think everything happens for a reason. But if I do have kids, or, whatever that may look like, I would do that differently with them. I would balance it more and maybe put them in school and let them experience a little bit more of actual life instead of just being so focused on one singular thing. It can take a toll on a kid. So
do you think, had you done things differently, like you're saying you would do with your own children, that you would still be in this same position you are today? Or was that the sacrifice you had to make to get where you are?
I think it's a sacrifice that I had to make. And I think my parents knew that. And both of my parents are entrepreneurs, and they have their own business. So they always encouraged me to kind of do the same thing and really follow my dreams. And if I did, decide that I wanted to do something with school or be a doctor or be a lawyer, that I can always go back. And there's not really a timeline on that anymore, which I think is great. So if you're young and you have a dream, you might as well chase it, right? And if you have parents to support you, that's just, you can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, I agree. I also applaud your parents for putting you in a money sport like tennis. My parents pushed me into swimming, and I was like, to make money as a swimmer, I just have to win 19 gold medals in a row, and then I'm set.
Exactly.
So yeah, really smart parents there. I appreciate that.
They knew what they were doing.
They really did.
Had a plan. They were going to send me an invoice when my tennis days were over.
Good. Yeah, they should.
Your parents were entrepreneurs. Looks like you're an entrepreneur. Wasted. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So I started my brand about 4.5 years ago.
What is it? So what is the brand? What do you guys, is it like, it's fashion, I assume. So
it is. Yes. It's women's streetwear. So I got the name Wasted. Flannels around the waist were a big thing and a big trend for girls a few years ago. And I was like, okay, how can I take that and make it better? So I designed a waist strap that had no collar. So you just like wear it around your waist. And it was a flannel technically, but with no like bulge in the back of your waist. So that's how I got the name Wasted. And then from then it evolved into women's streetwear. And I had an opportunity to start selling with Macy's the first few months of starting the business, and met with them in New York. And then we started selling to them, and we were one of the 3 top selling on their floor. And then we started selling boutiques all over the nation. We were doing trade shows, and it all happened very quickly. And I was very young. So my mom worked alongside with me, and she was my partner. And that, during COVID and everything's been a little bit different because we're a wholesale business. So we sell to retailers. That's our business model. And with COVID, everything just completely changed. And then online retailers started booming, and then there was no real business in retail for us anymore. So it's been like an interesting transition the last 2 years to figure out, okay, like where do we stand? What do we need to do? We kind of needed to regroup. And now I'm looking to get more on the activewear pickleball side of things instead of more the streetwear because of the platform that I have now, and working with other brands to make my life easier so I don't have to manage the whole back end. I can just design and put my face behind it. So that's the route that I'd like to go.
Are you working with any companies right now that we know of? Are you able to?
She's not going to tell you right now,
it's
bro.
A secret,
I can tell by her face.
I have some good things going on. So once I, get some things finalized, then you guys will be the first people that I tell.
I feel like
we get to break that news.
Yeah.
I feel like I know who you're working with, and I feel like it's a good fit. So for what it's worth.
I'm curious who you think.
He already told me.
Okay, what is it? What do you think?
He didn't tell me.
Are the initials AA?
No.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You should go work with them. We'll talk about
it.
We'll
I
talk
can't
about
even
it
think
offline.
what brand is AA.
I don't know.
Avi Athletics.
Oh no, it is not.
It's your buddy Alex Newman's sponsor.
Yes. No, I think they have really nice stuff. I haven't had a chance to wear it or get any of it, but Alex is actually on the way to the house over here. We're going to train in a little bit, so he might pop in and get his 2 minutes of fame. So
yeah, no, he's not allowed on this podcast.
Is this how he wants to waste his 2 minutes?
He's still on cloud 9.
Yeah.
I kind of on that note, but we have some user submitted questions here, completely anonymous.
Ooh.
Wow.
Got eggheads, some Twitter eggheads in the chat gonna fire some questions at Parris. Really,
I don't know about this, guy.
Yeah, I don't either. I wasn't either. This is a surprise to me.
Question one. Question one. You've had more mixed success with Alex Newman than any other partners this year.
I think that's Alex sending that.
Are you planning to lock down that partnership?
That's definitely Alex. Yes.
You can't. This is anonymous.
So the wording is that how Alex would talk?
Oh yeah. He's really trying to lock me down. Can you blame a guy for trying?
No, but we've already heard how expensive you probably are, and if so, Alex, bring your checkbook, bud.
I think I would just take all of his prize money and his sponsor money, but
that would be the deal.
Yeah,
he might still do that. Yeah,
I think he would.
Okay, question number 2.
Is this from Alex as well?
This is from an anonymous. This is from an anonymous source.
Yep.
There's been a lot of controversy over who has bigger legs, you or Alex Newman.
I think he's just sending you guys all these questions. I think I have a little bit more muscle to my legs than he does. He definitely needs to hit the gym. So I'll just leave it at that.
Wow. Shots fired.
Roasted.
Yeah. Roasted. Maybe he's just not wearing the right clothes. Maybe something more form-fitting or less form-fitting would be good for him.
Should I put him in a skirt and see how that goes?
A skirt?
I think you look good in that.
I think he'd do it.
An Avi Athletics skirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a wasted skirt. To each their own.
Yeah. Probably wasted.
Probably better.
All right, let's do a pickleball specific question on that note. So you and Alex have both had a lot of success on the single side, more than in doubles, but you recently had a mixed medal together. Can you talk a little bit about what's it been like, having this initial success in singles and really having to put in the extra time to work your way up on the double side and improve your stature there?
Well, coming from tennis, doubles is a little bit harder to adapt, but I was actually ranked higher in doubles than I was singles, and a lot of people don't know that. So you have to work with your partner and communicate with them, and the relationship really has to be there, and you have to have good chemistry with your partner. So especially coming into pickleball, there's a lot of different personalities, and sometimes you mesh with people, sometimes you don't, but also people are booked up for a year, especially the top players. So it's for someone to give you a chance and let you come in and say, yeah, I'll play with you. We'll see how it goes is a big thing. So it's just been kind of like the more success that I've had, the easier it's been to kind of break through. And now I'm really starting to have conversations with some really good guys. And they're like, okay, like you're starting to prove yourself and all these things, and getting to play MLP with Zane, I think was, an amazing opportunity and experience for me. So just playing with all these people, every different tournament, it's like, it's hard to get a rhythm. So to have someone being a solid partner and know that, okay, when you lose, when you win, this is how they're going to be, you know how to handle them emotionally, I think is the biggest thing. Would be, do you guys gel? What's the relationship like there? How do they handle themselves? How do I handle myself? How can we work together and make this work? So,
okay. I want to ask both of you this question, because Thomas, you probably have some input on this as well. So you're making waves in pickleball. That's really top doubles player is booked out for a year. They've just committed to other partners. Is that like, that's kind of, and then you're just like, what, hoping that like somebody like swipes right on your pickleball profile, and then you like connect, or you're talking at tournaments?
Maybe I should put my pickleball on Tinder and see if I get any hits.
No, I think a Tinder like pickleball profile
Pickleball
to match
Tinder.
partners. Yes.
Yeah,
but
I think we're onto something.
Is there a better system? Like, let's say somebody's like committed for a year to someone else, but they then decide Parris is a better fit for me and we're going to have more success. Do they ditch somebody, or is there a breakup? How often are these breakups? Is there a better system?
I'm gonna add that there is a lot of breakups, and there's a lot of animosity, and people are frustrated with each other for, even like last second movement in partnerships before tournaments. People just dumping their partners to go with somebody better last second and leaving their partner in the dust. So there's a lot of drama around this. It's interesting.
I feel like that's definitely happened to you, so you probably know them more than me.
Yeah. Do you hear how angry Thomas was in his voice? There were undertones.
I can play with whoever I want. If I decided to continue my pro career, which by the way, was
you think you could get Parris Todd?
I was going to call you.
If all the PPA players aren't available, maybe.
So this is my question is that what happens in tennis? Is there a better system? Or is that just the way it is and it's just pure business and people are getting dumped and hired and fired and souls are getting crushed and dreams are getting made, and it's just like there's highs and lows and nothing in between?
Yeah, well, a lot of players also like overcommit themselves to one person, and maybe they haven't played enough with them to really know how they're going to work. And then they play a tournament or two and they're like, oh my gosh, like this really is not working. So I think a lot of the times it can be mutual agreement between two people. But then sometimes there is the case where someone is kind of only playing a few tournaments with someone, and then someone better becomes available and they're like, well, I'm not really playing that many tournaments with this person, so I'm going to drop them for that person. So there's a little bit of in between as far as that goes. But at the end of the day, with us players, it's starting to, the money's starting to come in. It's starting to be more of a business. So at the end of the day, people have to understand that you have to do what's best for yourself and treat it like a business, but also try to maintain your relationships as best as possible. So it's like kind of a limbo.
Right. Is there written contracts ever between players to partner with each other, or is it always just like a handshake agreement?
I think it's just like a high five.
Oh, not even a handshake anymore, just a high five.
It's not even that formal yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I just I picture it all happening, and I'm certain that there's like so much that we're not seeing of animosity between players that have been dumped, and the scramble, and then like trying to one up somebody else as you scramble for a better partner. But there's so much.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some animosity out there, and it just depends on the person. It depends on the personality. Like some people take it harder than others, but at the end of the day, I think everything happens for a reason. And say someone was to drop me or I was to drop someone, then it's best for probably the both of us, and just move on. And you see the same person the next week and you're like cool with them, and you say, hey, how are you? It's like, you have to be cool with it and you have to understand. So,
yeah. But it's not always best for both of them.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. So, depends who drops who, I guess.
Dude, I've gotten some texts from some pretty disgruntled players, and like, if somebody dumped me, I'd be like, I'd be so mad.
Dude, I would bottle it up and just wait. Like 10 years down the road, they'd be like, I can't get my kid into college. I'd be like, yeah, that's
right.
because
That's weird.
That's because of me.
That's because of me, bro. I ruined everything you wanted to build as a future. And it's the long game, 10, 15 years down the road. They won't expect it. They won't know where it came from.
I love it. I'm taking notes right now.
Don't cross Tyson.
Yeah, exactly.
We're pretty good at holding grudges over here, I would say.
Okay,
Mhm.
I like it.
I pretend like everything's okay.
Oh,
And then I just wait for the moment where it's perfect time to strike, where people who see it are like, oh, that was kind of funny by Tyson, maybe a little petty. Like I never like get a ton of backlash because I like design it in a way where they're like, oh, that's just Tyson being silly. And I'm like, it is, but also I ruined their day.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that's how I've been on reality TV so many times.
That was a little good revenge.
Yeah. A little petty party.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
Okay, so at Major League Pickleball, when I had to hand Parris,
She's here.
Oh, sorry, I was getting a phone call.
No, you're good. Yeah, tell Alex not now. Okay.
I know, right? Alex, stop calling me.
So we were doing it was the award ceremony, right? And if you remember, I had to hand the MVP to Lee Whitwell, even though her team had just lost, but she was very deserving of that. But amidst all that, Cameron Irwin kind of talked about how you were hesitant to get into pickleball at one point.
Yes.
Were you kind of one of those tennis players who was looking at pickleball like, no shot? And then eventually you got convinced, and here you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually talking to my grandma the other day, and she's like, you keep telling people that you were playing tennis at the tennis center and you saw pickleball, but actually the story is she corrected me. So thank you, Grandma, that my grandparents actually started playing pickleball like 10 years ago when I was playing tennis. And me and my parents would always like joke with them, like, what are you guys doing? Like hit a wiffle ball around the court with paddles. Like, why don't you guys just play tennis? Like, that's so lame. It's such an old people thing. And here I am playing professional pickleball.
Yeah.
So,
What was the draw?
what was the what?
What was the draw to make the shift? Was it career specific, or did you play and fall in love? A little bit of both. Let's be honest here, Parris.
So when I started playing pickleball, I had no intentions of doing it competitively, because from all the years growing up playing competitive tennis, I was like, when I was finally done and I made the decision to stop and pursue my business, I was like, this is such a relief. Like, it was just such a grind and so hard on me physically and emotionally. And it's a lonely sport, tennis is. So when I started playing pickleball, I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna have fun. And I met a lot of really cool people doing it and really built some great relationships. And it was just fun. Like, I was like, I'm just gonna go and do this, like, you know, once a week and just have fun with friends. And then I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. Maybe I can give this a shot. I didn't even know like pickleball tournaments even existed or anything. So got in a few pickleball tournaments and was kind of good, and was like, I'll just keep this going. And then it's just kind of all evolved from there.
So are you pretty pumped now that you're kind of in this position? You're sort of on you're like one of the up and comers right now. You're pretty established at this point. Pickleball is on this crazy trajectory. Are you excited about the future and kind of what it looks like for you?
Absolutely. I think me getting in the last few months and having the success that I've had, just to kind of see the doors open and the sponsorship opportunities that I've been presented with, it's crazy. I mean, especially with pickleball it's kind of in its infancy right now, and it's really been growing. Even in the last 6 months of me playing professionally, it's like every month I feel like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Wait, what? Who wants to get involved? Like, it's really crazy. Like, sometimes I just have to pinch myself. So it's just been, I'm so blessed.
Thomas, that's all you have?
Yeah, Thomas, what else you got?
Come on, Thomas, what else you got?
What do you think? I'm a professional podcaster, Tyson?
No, amateur. I should be a professional by now. I've been doing podcasting for so long. What are some of like the interesting doors that are opening? Are there any brands that are talking to you? Like
the waters tagged Beats by Dre. I'm like, are you guys actually sponsored by Beats? Like, what are some of the interesting conversations that are happening, or at least what's the most interesting one you can reveal at this point?
I want to say so much, but I don't know how much I can say. Like,
Yeah.
I want to like open my book and let everyone know, but it's just so early on. I just want to make sure that all the contracts are finished and we have like everything set in stone. But I do plan to work with the brand to design a full pickleball line and get that out there. So, and possibly have a paddle. So I'm really excited about that.
Is that a pickleball brand?
It's not actually. These are pickleball. Well, I mean, it's like in between, but there's also some people I'm having conversation with that are not even involved in pickleball yet, that are looking to like cross over and make a crossover with me. So that's really exciting that they believe in me and, you know, trust in me. So
That's pretty cool. And you only started playing, like the first time you picked up a pickleball paddle and like played was 9 months ago?
I think like around, like 8 or 9 months ago, I want to say. It was like my first like amateur tournament was in October, I think. So I think I started playing like the month before that, maybe like September.
So when your grandparents introduced you to the sport initially 10 years ago, you never picked up a paddle and was like, let me see.
I never did. I just was like, why would I even like try that? It just sounds so boring and awful. And it's so fun and it's so addicting. Like, who knew?
So tennis.
Yeah. I mean, we knew, but we had to pick up a paddle first. That's the point where you realize it probably is when you pick up a paddle for a couple times.
It's probably the first step. Yeah.
That is the first step.
Okay. I have a question. Why are you playing with a Yola in singles and a Carbon in doubles? What's the story there?
So the whole Carbon situation that happened, I want to say like over a month and a half ago now, was very out of the blue. And I have a very good relationship with Carbon and the owner, Garrett Goslin. He's actually one of the first people I started playing pickleball with. And I didn't know that that was his brand. And I originally started playing with the paddle. So I'm glad I didn't like talk any crap about it, saying this is the worst paddle on the market. But
would you have said that?
No, because I actually chose it. Like I tested 10 different paddles and I chose the Carbon. I didn't even know. And he's like, oh, you like that paddle? I was like, yeah, it's a great paddle. And I didn't know for like another 3 weeks. And someone else told me it was his brand. So I was like, what the heck? You didn't tell me. So back to the question. It's hard to adapt from not thinking that I'm not going to be able to use the Carbon and then being forced to try a bunch of different paddles. And I ended up choosing the Yola out of, I think I tested 10 different paddles.
Yeah.
And I had like 3 days to do so before I left for St. Louis. So I started playing with it, and then I've been playing with it for like a month and a half now. And I only have so many days in between tournaments to get a feel for the paddle.
Sure.
And I've been so comfortable with the Yola. It's really hard to make the switch in such a short amount of time. So I am trying my best to slowly make the transition back to Carbon. But they have been nothing but patient and amazing with me and like helping me with all of this and, you know, kind of letting me do my thing, but still trying to promote them as much as I can and giving them as much, you know, as many eyes as I can, because that's what they deserve.
Right.
So it's just a process. Like, it's not easy. One day you play with something, one day you play with something else, and then you're trying out all these things. So it's just going to take time to really adjust and get back to it. So hopefully when I have a little bit of time off in July, I'll be able to make the full transition back.
So hear me out. Double
Here we go.
paddle contract.
Okay.
Anything's possible.
I
right?
mean, I have to play with this one in singles. I have to play with this one in doubles. Here's the reasons why. I need 2 individual contracts from 2 separate companies.
You want to be my agent?
I'm pretty smart, but I could have my agent be your agent.
Okay, good to know. Have him send his resume.
Definitely. I mean, you're looking at it right here.
Pretty good resume.
Never had a full-time job in my life.
It's working out pretty well.
It's not bad. Yeah, there's worse lives to lead. Thomas. Look
You
at how
ended up
jealous
on
Thomas is.
You ended up on a podcast with me, so I don't know how well it's going.
I know it is a low point, but still.
I actually have a question for you guys, because I've heard so much about you guys, but I don't know that much about you, and I haven't really had too many conversations with you guys. So I know that you both play, but what level do you guys play? And how often? Like, do you play tournaments or like?
This is Pandora's box right now. Pandora's box. I'm probably a 4.0 to 4.5-ish.
Self-rated or duper?
Well, on Duper, I think I'm rated higher, but it's provisional because I don't play tournaments.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I'm a 4. I think my Duper's maybe like a 4.9 right now.
But he's lower than that.
4.9. Okay.
Oh, I was up at like a 5.3 or something like that.
And then you took a bad L, or what happened?
Yeah, Tyson, what happened?
We got
You lost
smoked
to
in
Tyson?
Vegas.
Did
No,
you
we got
win?
smoked in Vegas together, but I blame my partner.
It was your partner's fault, right?
Yeah, always. So we are lining up some head-to-head pickleball matches because we had Thomas, who kept berating me as a pickleball player last week. So now there's a challenge. I got Lee Whitwell on my team. Who did you choose for your partner?
I'm trying to recruit Golden Tate, Super Bowl champ, Seahawks, Lions, New York Giants. He's retired now. He's got some time on his hands, but
it's really bold of you. Really bold of you to get somebody from the Lions.
Yeah,
got him.
Nice, dude. Yeah, he also won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just want to get somebody cool to play with me. I don't care if we win. I just want.
Well, if you want to win, you can ask me. I mean, I'll see if I can clear my schedule.
Wow.
We'll talk offline.
Okay, sounds good. DM me.
Yeah.
We're only going to Thomas though, Parris. You know, you'll just be standing there.
I'm sure I could play singles out there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Was that the full answer spectrum of your question, Parris, or was there more to that?
No, I was just curious. I want to see what I'm working with here.
Yeah, Thomas has played some pro tournaments. He had a pro victory over Eric Lang at one point in Utah. And Thomas is more willing to play tournaments than I am. They're so long and there's so much downtime, and I'm a man of the people. Like, I'm just like out goofing around, talking to people, all the fans just like swarming me. Well, I've got to, it's a lot of energy.
A lot of attention. I know. I know how it goes.
Yeah.
Nobody pays attention to me, so I have all the time in the world.
I know. Thomas will be over there.
There you go.
Might as well register for a tournament or two.
Me and Thomas will be standing together and somebody will come up and tell me how much they love this podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
And I'll be like, Thomas, that's you too, bud.
Come to you and say they didn't like it?
Yeah.
No, nobody's come up and said they didn't like it yet.
Yeah, that'll happen.
First time for
Yeah. Hopefully not after this one. We'll let you know, Paris.
Okay. No, we'll literally be walking
host,
around.
Right?
we'll literally be walking around like side by side at a tournament. So we'll be like, Tyson, love the podcast. I'm like,
not you.
Yeah.
Like,
or they'll
name again. Who are you?
They'll come up and be like, hey, Tyson, you're the owner of the Dink, right? I've got a thing for you. And I was like,
that happened. Someone DM'd us and was like, hey, Tyson, like, I'd love to talk to you about this opportunity. And I was like, there's no, like, this is not Tyson's account.
You got
like,
paid for that.
Darn it. See ya.
Did you get paid for that though?
What?
For whatever opportunity it was.
No, obviously not. So,
well,
I'm sorry. Capitalize next time.
That's just how the world goes. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Let's talk a little bit about Major League Pickleball. What was like your overall takeaway from that? I mean, I, as a fan, enjoyed the heck out of it. And as a commentator, Tyson and I had a good time commentating on one. Tyson, I think you commentated on two of her matches.
Yeah, I was on the CBS and we were the day before. So we got you twice. And also I predicted BLQK victory from the onset. So
I hope you put some money on that.
No, I did not. I'm a neutral party here. Come on. So yeah. What was your take? Was it like, because we keep seeing these pros that are like, it's better than any other tournament I've ever played. The energy is so high. And then on top of that, what did you do with the 25 Gs?
So Major League Pickleball it's one of the best events I've ever been a part of. Just everything that, Major League Pickleball, Duper, Steve Kuhn have been able to do for the players and setting up that event and how they do their Tuesday night events. I mean, it's just been awesome. And they really are trying to bring money in for the players to allow us to make this a full-time job. And I think that right there is, I mean, it's amazing. And I'm so excited for the next two, and I'm so excited that we get to keep our same team. I'm glad that it's not, they don't do drafts in between. I think they're doing some supplemental drafts with some of the teams, but I think all of us on BOQK are safe, which is good to say. But with the money, I put a good amount in crypto, not gonna lie. So
at its rock bottom.
Yeah. Before or after the crash?
I mean, is it still crashing, or have you made a profit?
It's been crashing a lot lately. I've tried not to look at it because
don't
every
look.
morning I'll be looking at my phone, I'm like, oh, it's down. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what did I do? So I have to take a few weeks off of it, not look at it. And then maybe in a year I'll have $1 million in there. So
I don't want to burst your bubble, but the time to turn a portion of 25 G's into $1 million in crypto has long passed.
That's not true. Now it's bottomed out and it could go up again.
I mean,
depending on what.
Never know. So we'll see.
But you do never know. You got to put money everywhere.
Exactly. Got to diversify.
You really do. I've had some experiences with crypto.
Some good and some bad, or all bad?
No, mostly bad. I mean, the highs are so high, dude. I got in before the first giant spike. My first Bitcoin I bought was at $300.
Wow. When did you sell it at?
I traded. I kept trading. You don't ask those questions. Can't you tell by my face? You don't ask all those questions.
Oh, my bad.
And then I got in again, pretty heavy before the giant 2017 spike, and then subsequent major crash. And there was a time where I had turned 15K into 300K into 9K.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the times you're I should have sold.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of those times. So anyways, enough about all these sob stories. I've done okay for myself. Don't feel bad. Nobody send me any crypto. I've got enough.
Well, yeah, you're back on TV too. Parris, what do you think about Tyson saying he's the most influential pickleball player? I sent Parris
pickleball personality. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sent me that. I was like, what TV show is that? Is that for Survivor or what is that?
No, it's called The Challenge. It's a MTV show, but they're showing it on CBS because the parent company, and they're taking all former CBS reality stars and putting them on this show.
Okay.
So I just hyped pickleball the entire time. Yeah. My confidence.
Yeah. I love it. You got to have a little confidence. So.
Yeah, exactly. Or a lot.
How do you feel about that comment?
Listen, I'm used to Tyson and his confidence, we'll call it. So it's pretty.
That's a safe word. I like it.
I mean, if I wasn't then, after this show, I probably will be.
There you go.
Everybody's like, what'd you do to get in shape for this thing? I was like, I play pickleball twice a week. Sometimes I miss some of the pickleball times.
Well, we were trying to figure out if we could get you to wear PicklePod or other stuff while you were on the show, and they wouldn't let you.
They took it all away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because Under Armour sponsors the entire show. Oh. So I brought all this Fila gear and they took it all away from me. But then I did a bunch of press this morning, and I'm wearing what I'm wearing now. So I wore all the Fila stuff in the press.
You're able to sneak it in there. I like it.
Yeah, sometimes because there's so many people working on those shows that not everybody knows all the protocols. Right. And so you just kind of sneak it in there, and once in a while, you get through. And then it's innocent enough where I'm just oh, I forgot. I didn't know.
I had no idea.
Yeah, sorry. I just had on in the morning, and then it ended up all over US Weekly.
Yeah, it's just a little sideways, but that's just how I wear it. There you go.
Shows that I don't care. I put it on. It's a little sideways. So what?
Parris, in all the matches you've played so far, who's the best singles match you've had? And by that I mean the toughest. Mm-hmm. Who's been the most difficult to play against? And then I'm going to ask you the same thing on the doubles side.
I would probably say Anna Lee has been my biggest challenge, but I played with J-Dub this week in singles. I played him, and then I played James Ignatowicz.
Yeah.
I call him Euphoria because he looks like the character from Euphoria, the lead role.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, playing with those guys is after 3 points, I'm like, like
Yeah,
I'm
right.
so out of breath. It's just crazy how good they are and the shots that they can hit. And especially James, like he's so long. I was like, my passing shots aren't working. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
James looks like Zendaya.
The male role, but I mean, sure.
Okay.
I think I can't remember what his actual name is, but it's like if you look at the show, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's who it is. So that's a compliment to him and to Anna. So, but yeah, I would say probably Anna Lee, and then in doubles, J-Dub. I mean, he's a freaking animal. Like he's unreal. So
What's different about his game? I mean, when you're playing with him, like what are you constantly watching for?
Just him he picks up shots that no one else can really pick up. I haven't played against Ben Johns yet, so I don't really know how he plays, but you'll hit a dink or just like a really good shot that you think is like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like, and he'll just speed it up out of nowhere, but it's not really that fast, but it's just like the spot that he's able to hit and the placement is just like, how is he doing that? And then if it comes to me and I try and speed up at him down the line, he's like, oh, no, like just the fastest hand. And it's like, what do you have to do to like win a point against this guy?
Right. Right. Because in singles, I mean, you just brought up like your passing shot. So when I was watching your match versus Anna Lee, I mean, one of the things that jumped out to me was you were just ripping the ball down the line, and your passing shots were unbelievable. In doubles, you can't fall back on that. So
yeah, it's just a lot more finesse, and it's just different shots that you have to develop. I have to completely change my game from singles to doubles. And a lot of people don't realize that too. Like you'll play singles on Thursday and then you have 2 doubles events, and it's like the feel is totally different. So you have to like change things in order to make it work. So when you're warming up the next day after singles, you're like, okay, I have to work on a drop now, and like all these different things. So it's just different variations. Oh, look who showed up. We were talking about you. You want
no.
to say hi? I'd love to. Nice to yeah, it's been all about you today.
Oh, Parris.
Hi.
Hey guys. Hello,
what's up, dude?
This is awesome.
Yeah, right? The highlight of your day?
Highlight of my year, potentially.
Probably year, yeah. Parris.
We already discussed the anonymous questions.
Yeah, there were a couple of them.
Really? What were they about?
They were
leg
just
size, leg circumference mostly.
One of them, and then just kind of like.
I don't know. You didn't send any questions?
I would never do that.
And then there was one. The other one was kind of just like encouraging Parris to kind of partner up with you for, I don't know, a year or two in writing and everything. Just lock you down immediately.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at my schedule yet, so I'll have to see
it's cool of a fan to like do that though, and like recognize that should be. So Parris, I want to talk to you about your doubles when you're talking about singles and doubles a little bit. This doubles, you do something kind of unorthodox on the kitchen line where you love to take a step back and let the ball bounce a lot deeper than some of the other pros who are like trying to pick it out of the air above the kitchen. Yeah. What is your reasoning for that, and why does it work so well for you?
It just depends on when I take a step off the line, what my partner is doing cross court. Because a lot of the times, if I feel like maybe they're going to pop it up or hit something high, I'll just take a step back just to make sure I'm ready for a speed up. Because if you're standing on the line, sometimes it comes a little bit too fast in order to defend or to counter. So that's a lot of the reason why I'll do that. I'm just kind of seeing what's going on with the point, and I have to adjust. Do I move up? Do I move back? And then when I want to be more offensive, like I'll take a step forward, and then I'll try and take some of those balls out of the air instead of letting them bounce. But I think I was actually playing with DJ at Dreamland maybe over a month ago. And I used to short hop my dinks a lot. And he's like, why don't you just like take a step back and like wait for it to bounce and let it come up so you give yourself time? And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. Because in tennis, everything you're like trying to take everything early, but pickleball is very much like relaxed, and you just have to wait and be patient and let the balls really like drop, I want to say. So after, I had my drilling with DJ, I was like, oh, he actually has a really good point. So I just take my time, because if you're standing on the kitchen line all the time, sometimes you rush. You feel very rushed. So it's just taking my time and really seeing what the ball is going to do before I make a decision what I want to do with it.
Okay. Because I've always been instructed by multiple people and professionals to not give up anything on the kitchen and to take everything from the sky that I can reach and control.
Yeah. Well, but women's doubles and mixed doubles is very different game too, because women's is a lot more trying to be more offensive, and mixed is more like trying to neutralize things, but also trying to counter. And the guy will usually do a lot of the work. I mean, not Alex, but like any other guy that I play with.
Yeah, Alex
so
has it.
just gonna have to be ready for everything. So, but yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start trying that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I've always been like, never give up an inch. You've earned your spot here on this line. Stay here.
I know. You just got to play out the point and see, see what's going on with it. You can't just stay there the whole time. I just don't think that's the right way to go about it. So.
Okay. Well, Thomas, sorry. Maybe the defeats we had in Vegas were my fault. I was unwilling to take a step back from the kitchen once I got there.
Oh, we barely got to.
Tyson's fault.
We almost never got to the kitchen.
You just drive everything and see what happens.
Oh, okay.
We didn't make it that far. It was more like just thirds in the net. Like
thirds into the net or too high. Sometimes we hit them too high.
Those are tough.
Yeah.
No, and then we would get to the kitchen line. We'd be like, okay, we're here. Now, like, let's win the point. Go for it. Immediately. Yeah.
But we're still working the kinks out of this partnership here.
Takes time. All relationships do, right?
Yeah, that really sage wisdom there, Parris. I appreciate that.
I try.
No, you're right though. I think like often coaches or even people who've played a while, like for a beginner in particular, they're like, crowd the kitchen, reach in, take everything out of the air, put more pressure on your opponent. But I think it's basically like the game's evolved where you need to be constantly moving your position, and even like a minor adjustment can change the shots that you have at your disposal, and of course make your opponent less comfortable and you less predictable. And then you can kind of step off the line, take a few dinks, and then especially for somebody like you, Tyson, it's like, okay, so you give, well, he's got the long arms, right? Like you give your opponent space so they think they can start hitting those deeper dinks, and then you just slide up even just a little bit, and now you do take it out of the air and they're not expecting it. You capitalize on that.
Ooh, okay. I like this strategy.
I think you have a future in coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I hire you? Do you want to come sit on my sideline?
He's pretty expensiv.
Yeah. And I'll be your agent.
Yeah.
And
I'm paying him in crypto or regular money.
In
crypto? You take crypto?
Sponsorships.
I have Monopoly money. You want that?
This is worth about the same as some of the other stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm playing pickleball on Friday. That's tomorrow. I'm going to try this, Thomas, and I'll report back next week.
Dude, I'm playing tomorrow morning too.
No, I'm tomorrow night.
Oh, what?
Oh,
no,
God, we were almost in sync. Like we were just like, our moon cycle's in sync, Thomas, where we play pickleball at the same time every time we play. That's crazy.
Do you guys practice together a lot, or?
No, we have. Yeah, we don't practice. We only play. We're
all right.
The no drill zone over here.
Yeah, I love it.
And we haven't played pickleball together since last fall, and that was hardly together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Little breakup going on over there, a little animosity.
No, we just haven't had time, and we don't see each other in person very often. Okay. So yeah, he's in Austin. I'm in Arizona. Yeah. We are both homebodies, so neither one of us is willing to travel to see the other one.
That's a tough relationship right there.
It's really hard, but it's a good thing I have a family and kids and stuff. With Thomas, it must be lonely.
Yeah, right. I just sit in my apartment and just sit up in my apartment and talk to nobody, and then
a single tear down his face.
Something like that. I'm playing twice this weekend. I'm playing twice.
Dude, is your back going to be able to handle that?
That's actually my biggest concern. my back, because it's been acting up. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, that's sad.
Old man.
I'm playing like a good game on Saturday though. I'm playing with Leia Jansen and then the Arana brothers, who I think are more. I mean, one of them is more like he's a strong singles player, pro. But I think they're more like 5-0 doubles player. So it should be a good match.
Okay.
they're not.
Are you going to? Yeah.
You
They're
just called
okay.
it so
But
hard.
well, the morning match tomorrow is the one I'd be more concerned if people were tuning, because like I have a good match on Saturday, but Friday's game is garbage and those people are idiots. That's what I heard Thomas say.
Oh
No, I
my
just never play. I've never played with those people, so we'll see. They could be really bad. Could be good. Could be really good.
Okay. Well, I look forward to your content.
Best of
There's
luck.
gonna be no content. No content.
Just Thomas missing every other shot.
Oh, got you, dude.
Oh.
Thomas, man. Parris, I like you. I think, yeah, this is great. You've fit in well. You understood the dynamics here between Thomas and myself, and you've appropriately taken the shots that have been softballed to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just doing my best to keep it with you guys. So
Yeah.
hopefully
A lot of politically correct answers, a lot of smooth answers. Couldn't trip you up on anything. I typically like when a pro says something that they're not supposed to say.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
We all appreciate that,
I
right?
got my lips sealed over here. So when
Yeah.
it happens, I'll let you know. But until then.
Okay. Who would you never, as a pro, want to be partnered with? Another pro.
Who would I never want to be partnered with?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a mean question.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. You
Oh,
don't have to answer that.
No,
You were going to answer it?
Question.
Thomas, should we have her answer? She looked like
You
she was really
should've.
going to do it.
No, because she's just gonna make, because like Alex is what she's gonna say. Alex, she's gonna say
Yeah.
me or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
I'll
Alex
just
or you.
Why not?
Who?
J-Dub.
Oh, you just already said that
I know.
he's one of the best or the best.
I don't know. I changed.
Contradicting yourself.
I'll
Yeah.
change it.
Okay. Yeah. You're allowed to change your mind.
Okay.
What's next for you? So you're in California for a couple tournaments here.
Mhm. So I have the LA Open this weekend, and then the Newport Beach Championships next weekend, and then I head to Florida for a few weeks to take a few weeks off, which will be very nice. I think it would be like 10 weekends straight that I've been playing tournaments. So I'm excited about some new partnerships that I have this weekend and next weekend. So it should be really good. I'm excited.
Can we hear about these partnerships, or are they?
Yes, you can hear about them.
Finally get something.
So this weekend I have DJ Young, which I'm really
Mhm.
excited about, and Michelle Esquivel, which is awesome. And then next weekend I have Kyle Yates and Anna Bright. So I'm really excited for Anna, especially. I think we would be able to make some waves together. So
Yeah, you're both very fiery. I like
Yeah,
that.
we would give each other really good energy. We have similar game styles. I think it's going to be really good. So.
And DJ Young, is that a real beard?
You know, today I wanted to, like, when we were practicing today, I was like, should I just touch it? Should I just like go over field just to see? I was like, are the tattoos real? Like, do they come off? Or like I don't know. To be determined. I'll let you know.
Yeah. To keep
I'll
us
send you-
updated.
I'll feel it tomorrow and let you know.
Perfect. And you also said you're moving. I don't know. Is that top secret still, or is that we can talk about that?
No. I'm trying to figure out if I want to move to Florida or if I want to move to Texas. So I'm going to take some time and go to Florida beginning of July and see if I like it and if it's a good fit for me. So I live in California and I'm from California. I feel like Florida would be a little bit easier of a transition for me. So we'll see how that goes.
Is what are the pros and cons? Like, what are you specifically weighing? Is it more pickleball related? Is it more just lifestyle in general related?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Texas would be 100% for the career and for pickleball, just because there's so many opportunities, you know, over at Dreamland and over there. But also, I think it doesn't really fit my lifestyle very well, especially out in Dreamland. It's a little bit rural for me, and just how I like to, you know, things to do and how I like to live. So that's why I feel like Florida still has really good players out there and there's still great opportunities, but it's a little bit more like California lifestyle and living. So I just want to make sure like I have a happy medium.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
you're going to live downtown Austin. You're not going to live out in Dripping.
I'm not a big city girl, so I don't know if I'd be able to do that. Like I would maybe live in between, like halfway, but I haven't spent enough time in Texas to really know that. So maybe I'll just get a place in both spots and then I'll be, you know, back and forth.
You think 25K is enough to buy you a house in Austin and Florida?
No, but with the stuff I have on the table, I think I'll be able to have a place in both. So.
Okay, do it. Why not? But
Yeah.
why do you need that? Do you need that?
You need what?
2, one in Austin, one in Florida. Wouldn't you rather go one in California, one in somewhere else?
I'm sure I'll have multiple properties soon.
Wow,
enough.
big plans.
Yeah, and just start making some money off them and call it my home whenever I'm there, and just, start acquiring some real estate. I think it's only smart, right?
Yeah, I mean, real estate, stocks, crypto.
Yeah. Crypto's number one, and then
You got it all going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's happening and turning up, Parris Todd.
I love it.
Thomas, any closing remarks?
No, I actually like that. Everything's turning up. Parris Todd.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I love that.
Okay. Well, keep it going. It was a pleasure, Parris. And
Guys.
we hope to see more of you. Predictions this weekend? Multiple golds?
Multiple medals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to
It's
stay
not
humble.
this weekend, right? It's next weekend.
LA
Next
Open
weekend.
this weekend. Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And next
guess I
weekend
should
is
know.
Newport. Come on, Thomas. And then after that is a trip to Florida.
Yep. You got it. You got it done.
Yeah.
You listen. Good listener.
Thank you. Yeah. Being a good communicator is like 80% listening.
Exactly. That's why you guys' relationship doesn't, work that well. Maybe one of you listens, one of you doesn't.
Something like that.
Yeah. We're not going to say who
Oh,
does
yeah.
what. Thomas wants out of here so bad. Thomas, you can end this whenever you want.
Thanks,
Well,
Parris. Later, guys.
See ya.
Bye.